about to start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of No Conduct Radio. Tonight, we are taking it from the somber episode we have last week, which last week we talked about the epidemic of suicide. If you want to go back and check that out, it's suicide on the rise. So we actually had a guest host on last week, and we talked about what's going on with suicide. But tonight, we're taking it back to our relationships. So tonight is men-only relationships. Sorry, women. This is just men asking their questions to us. So they can ask women, or men can ask other men for advice or whatever. It's just men's questions. Next week we'll get to you women before I get a backlash in my freaking email because people are just, oh, God. Anyways, so next week is the women, but today is the men. So other than that, how's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Pretty good.
Really?
I'm so tired. I'm running off of 4 hours of sleep. It's taking maximum effort to be here right now. I'm so tired.
Really? That's the norm.
Yes. That's the norm for you?
That's a norm, yeah. 4 5 hours, yeah.
Yeah. Good Lord, no. I have to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep, or after like the fourth day, I'll start getting sick. Like I
8 hours of sleep, man. I wish. Shoot, 7, I wish.
Yeah, I can't do 4 hours of sleep. I won't survive now. That's crazy. So on an average, you get 4 hours of sleep?
4.5. Yep. I would have to cut my phone off to get 8 hours of sleep or 7 hours of sleep.
Wow.
Well, why can't you turn it off?
Long story. I can't turn my phone off. Yeah, only on Sundays though. One day, only on Sundays. Any Monday to Friday, nah. Only on Sundays though.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
I don't know how you do it. Like I said, I would be sick.
Too much going on.
What were you saying, Char?
What?
Hi, hello everyone. If you couldn't hear me, BJ, I was asking. So, is it just that you have a schedule where you don't turn it off Monday through Friday, or you can or you can't turn it off during the week? Is it just because the kids know?
I just answer that question. Was you here and listening to me? Yeah.
What do you say?
Hey, Char, you just changed the whole thing around to something like how you do that?
No, because we're not.
It's a gift only Char has.
I just explained that. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking Mandarin. I don't know. Yeah.
No, you're actually fading at first. It sounded like you were under 100 feet of water. You're a lot more clear now. So
I'm a lot more clear now. You sound like you underwater.
He was clear to he was clear to us.
Not on this one. Yeah, totally. It was like, you know how you sound like you're under 100 feet of water? Like a computerized kind of breaking in and out.
As opposed to 2 feet of water.
Exactly, as opposed to maybe 10 feet of water. It has to be 100.
It got to be 100 feet of water.
Well, have any of y'all, and this goes to our panel also, listeners and panel, have any of y'all checked out Char's weekly video on our new YouTube channel? So Char answers 1 to 2 relationship questions a week live on our YouTube channel now. And they're very entertaining. I think y'all should go check it out. What did you say, BJ?
I was listening. Go ahead.
I think y'all should go check it out on our YouTube, No Conduct Radio. So these are basically, this is a new show or new episodes that you don't get on the podcast. It's only on our YouTube. And starting like next year, more than likely in January, I'll be bringing you relationships and crime. So I'll be bringing that every week also.
So
Char does the
y'all doing
relationship
live
questions.
podcast? Y'all doing live YouTube things? Char, you doing live YouTube?
Char's doing live. Mine is going to be recorded.
Okay.
Well, I'll probably jump in once a week after a while, and just kind of let people know what to expect on her relationship crime series. I mean, I think it's going to be very interesting.
I asked you a question.
Something very different. So, What?
Sorry, I think you. Do you have us on speaker or something? Is that why you're not hearing?
I know that's what it sounds like, right? It sounds like
I'm sorry.
On.
I do. No, I do.
Well, take us off the speakerphone, please.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking. I'm actually preparing for a fight. I was just thinking I can actually do 5 things at once, but sorry about that.
No, but this is like the second
time
BJ has said something, and you're like, what, BJ? So question,
yeah,
the same thing you just answered.
Funny. It's because I was on speaker. That's what it was, apparently, because it was like, womp, 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 Charlie Brown's teacher. Anyway, so as Kai said, if you guys, and by the way, today the videos are up on our relationship questions and answers page also for all the listeners out there. So if you guys don't want to just go all the way to YouTube and look for it, just click right on our page at relationship questions and answers, and you can also
how long is the video
each week?
Char?
They're very short, 20 minutes and under.
Okay.
So is that okay with you, BJ? You approve?
If you can answer that question in 20 minutes, it's very good, very good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know BJ's schedule may not permit.
Because you can go on for like an hour for one question.
Video.
That one question.
You're absolutely right.
Well, that's why she's the one doing the
guidelines.
live videos and not me, because I'll answer all the questions in like 3 minutes flat. Small talk is not one of my greatest.
But she's doing one question, right?
Well, last week she only got to one question, yeah.
See, exactly. There you go.
No, I'm going to do my best to do. No, the first time I answered 3. But then the quality wasn't there with the actual video.
Yeah, but the first one, BJ, the first one was like 40 minutes or something like that.
46 minutes.
3
I
questions.
just realized that. You're right. It was. Man. So now what we'll do is I'll get 2 to 3 questions in every week and under the 20 minutes. So I have. Well, we'll figure it out. It'll get better every time.
Look, I'm telling you right now, Char, don't change your format. I've watched them. I like it. You're doing it live for a reason. Don't change it. Don't try and be like me, because then you can then I might as well just come in there and be like, hey, so she was horrible in bed. What should I do? Find somebody else. Next.
I gotta check this YouTube segment out after later on tonight. I have to check it out.
Okay, well, BJ, I actually said hello to you, and I said hello to Kai, and I said hello to Logic a million times. But you guys, I'll be broadcasting from New Mexico this next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. So that should be fun, too. It'll be a different environment. I'll always be in some interesting backdrop or environment. Every Saturday or Sunday, and eventually we'll have a mailing list, listeners out there, where we can inform you when we have a video coming up. It'll always be on the weekends, so you can look forward to something fun on the weekend.
Well, if they are subscribers, it'll be notification they will get that. So you don't get an email for it; they will get that notification.
Once they're subscribers,
you have to hit the button to get notifications. You don't always get notifications.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So if they're on,
But seriously, these episodes that Char started, they're hilarious. Y'all should definitely check it out. The first episode, she did shout me out. And the funny thing is, she was wearing a Heineken shirt or something like that?
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels
shirt.
And I looked at her. I was like, y'all, okay, so listeners, you got to go to our YouTube channel. It's the first video that Char did. What's the name of the video again? I'll tell you so y'all could go look it up. It is,
what is that with intro?
No Conduct Radio Introduction YouTube show. So check that out. She has this cute little Jack Daniels shirt on. But when I first saw it, before she even said anything, I was like, seriously, Char? You're wearing a Jack Daniels shirt? And then as soon as I was thinking that, she stood up and she said, and Kai, I wore this just for you. And she put her boobs right in the camera. So, guys, if you want to see Char,
really?
I did. I actually did.
Okay. She wore a Jack Daniels boob shirt.
We have some technical issues. Kai, please warn them. We have technical issues, guys, on that video. It's quite a few. But if you can get through that, it's actually fun. and it gets better. So
look, just watch the
will get
video.
better
It's
time.
technical difficulties. We're still getting used to this whole Facebook Live. Y'all will be okay. But anyway, so yeah, go to our YouTube, subscribe. What do they say? Comment, like, subscribe. Comment, like, subscribe. And these are
Otherwise,
episodes
we
that
won't
you'll
know when
only
we're
see
doing
on our
anything.
YouTube channel. And like I said, starting
Right.
in January, you're going to get relationship and crime from me, which I'm not as talkative as Char. And then from Char, you'll get your questions answered.
Hold on. Kyle, you said relationship
and crime. So, like people,
It
I don't
goes
know,
hand in hand.
I found out my dude was cheating on me. I got home, he was in bed with like 3 girls, stuff like that. I shot him up. Or a Bonnie and Clyde type of deal, or stuff like that.
Okay.
It takes Kai to come up with these very unique topics to do whatever.
Or like a dude that gets divorced, builds himself up, and the chick comes back and takes him back to court because he got more money. Crime.
That's a crime.
You gotta get rid of her.
That's a crime.
Next thing you know, there's a burning car in the woods somewhere. No one knows what happened.
That's white collar category logic. We're talking about gory, I thought.
White collar.
Ain't nothing white collar about that
that's
at
white
all.
collar.
That's regular.
No, I'll include that, but I wasn't even thinking about that.
That's considered white collar.
I'll include that.
Okay. All right, guys. So we'll be working very hard over the next year for everyone's entertainment.
It would take logic
so
to think of that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Right, exactly.
All right, so let's get to these questions unless somebody else has something to add. Is there something going on in the news that I missed? No? Yes? No? Yes? No?
Well, supposedly we have a rover on Mars that's giving us crystal clear pictures that you can't even get on Google Maps. But,
Oh, really?
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Oh, wow. Damn.
And meanwhile, I can't go past Allentown and keep a signal on Sprint, but they got nothing but crystal clear pictures and control of a rover on another planet, allegedly. So,
are we on Mars? Are we on Mars now? Wow, I didn't know that.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
What
was that? A week ago they landed on Mars, or was it?
It's funny though, because Mars looks a lot like the Mojave of California with a red tint on it. But
right.
It really does. It really does.
We need to have a shark conspiracy and a logic conspiracy.
Right, because I've got lots more, and I know logic does.
I want to hear both of them. But Char, next time, don't bring us the crap you brought last time. I want to hear your conspiracy theories. Like, the lizard people are in the White House.
Is how the white man is trying to control the black man.
Oh, trust me, those are definitely considered conspiracy theories. I can go, you guys, I can go deeper, but those are definitely trending conspiracy theories, everything that I brought up before. But I can go deeper, trust me.
Char?
Right. I have all my notes on that too. Well, that was part of that show. It was slated to be part of that show, but we ran out of time. So you guys weren't aware of that, but I have all my notes there. Yes, absolutely.
Talking about MK.
And if you go to our YouTube page, our YouTube after show page, we also have a video up on MK Ultra right now that I put up this morning. So
you do?
If you guys want to wait for me to add it, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So anyways, and speaking of signal logic, I was in a location. I was actually in Wilmington, but a different place, a different section in Wilmington that I've ever been to. It was like off of 495 in Wilmington, and I had no signal. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I had full bars, but I had no data. Like, I couldn't do anything, and I was sitting there holding up my phone. It was just, I've never seen anything like it.
There's some places that if they're like doing, when I say experiments, I don't even mean anything creepy. It could be like Johnson & Johnson or something. Like, if they have sensitive equipment, some buildings will have like signal dampeners where it's not, so people's cell phone signals won't interfere with their machinery or sensitive computer systems. So Like when your signal drops, but you're in a very populated area, that's usually it's because of something like that. Or you might be in one of those just weird areas where the radius of the towers just don't really touch each other or overlap. So you just reach that little micro dead zone, and then it picks right back up a couple seconds later. There could be a lot of things.
It was annoying. It was very annoying. So yeah, I guess we're on Mars, but we can't get signal right there in Wilmington, Delaware, which is a fairly nice sized city.
I know Wilmington has refineries near there, so it's like depending on where you were, it could have been something sensitive like that where it needed to be a low or a specific frequency just to not mess with their equipment that they use to monitor what they're doing inside their factory. You know, it could be something like that.
Well, yeah, I was in a location fixing some PCs and servers and stuff, so could be that. All right.
So y'all got any information on that 5G network will be coming?
Yeah, that was actually developed by the cellular dinosaur Nokia. I know a lot of people forgot about them, but
dang, Nokia.
They got out of the phone game. They haven't been making phones for years, obviously, but they've been working on 5G signals for cellular towers. And now you'll have like high speed cable internet speeds on your phone.
That's crazy.
We'll see.
More money.
Okay, so on to these questions. All right, so I guess this is to the guys. So from the men to the men. What are green flags that a girl is a keeper?
Green flag that a girl is a keeper. She has a career. She's not crazy. And she's not promiscuous. There you go.
Okay, but what constitutes not crazy? Because
if
you have a woman that's constantly telling you to pick up your frickin' socks, there's some guy out there that's going to think that's crazy.
What? Well, for me, that's petty. Pick up your socks. That's annoying. That's not crazy. That's just annoying.
No, I'm just saying some guys will consider that crazy. So what do you consider crazy?
If like crazy meaning she has proper communication skills. Like some women, people in general can't communicate, but when dudes are talking about women, it's usually nagging or somebody who's emotionally just not balanced, where they'll snap about the smallest stuff, or if they have a flight instinct, like as soon as it's a little bit of a friction in a relationship, these chicks are like bailing, you know. So you want somebody who obviously is honest. Career and everything, that's really going to be up to you, depending on what kind of person you are, if that's important to you. But you know, I would say the foundation would be honesty, communication skills, and loyalty. I would say that's the big ones.
So if a woman doesn't have good communication skills, you're out?
It
doesn't matter who. Yeah, if she can be beautiful, she can have her own career. She could be a doctor, lawyer, you know, whatever people covet. But if she has horrible communication skills, where you have to pull teeth to get out of her what's going on, what are you thinking, what are you feeling?
Annoying.
If you have to go through a song and dance every single time you have to have a conversation with her, that's going to get old. I don't care who the guy is. That's going to get old. You know? Or if she's snapping, like she'll let something build up. And then the minute, like you said, the socks, like this guy comes home in his socks and, I can't believe you. And she just starts screaming. Like, are you serious? What's wrong with you? I'm just so frustrated because everything. So you didn't communicate with me last week or the week before that when all of this was building up. You wait till now to start screaming at me at 11 o'clock at night. Are you serious?
Snapping, yep.
Communication problems.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I think I'll be lonely for the rest of my life then. I don't snap at people. I just don't like to talk about stuff because it doesn't make a difference.
Well, that's
so
crazy.
Why
That's communication.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I guess I'll be lonely. I don't snap at you, but I just won't talk about stuff because it doesn't make a difference.
All right.
You like, what's wrong? And I'll be like, nothing. I'll just hope it fixes itself.
But if a guy says that and you know something's wrong and he says nothing, you'll get mad and upset and want to argue. You're like, yes, it is. I know something wrong.
I won't argue. No, but I will be like, yeah, tell me what's wrong. I know something's wrong. You're acting different.
If you say that to you, you won't talk.
If
I don't ask you what's wrong, then I honestly don't care. So there's a problem there. If I'm like, what's wrong, and you're like, nothing, and I'm like, okay, then you need to look for
he asking you that he cares, but you don't want to talk.
Yeah, you're
because what I learned.
You say, oh, nothing.
Because what I learned is talking fixes nothing. Sometimes it makes it worse.
My God.
That's backwards. Oh no!
What has brought you to that conclusion?
What?
Because from what I've noticed, sometimes talking makes it worse. Like then you'll say, okay, well this is the issue.
Worse?
Well, why is the issue this? This and this, and then you'll get into a whole other argument where if you had just said nothing, then you go about your business. There's no argument. Okay, nothing.
So,
all right,
so wait a minute. So your assessment to communication doesn't help anything is because it doesn't lead to a more pleasant conversation?
It doesn't lead to a solution. It leads to more arguing.
I mean,
then you got it off your chest. You argue. You got it off your chest. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say sometimes in order to have a solution to a problem, your issue or whatever you discussed may lead to another problem under the surface. So if you have to uncover different things that led to this problem, that's the only way it's going to get solved. You can't just say, this is the problem and I don't want to talk about anything else. And that problem may be linked to something else for the other person. So that person is just supposed to know what? Just not say anything because you don't want to have an unpleasant conversation. Because let's say your issue, like your husband, and he's been going out late, and your issue is, I don't like you going out and staying out until late, and that's all I want to talk about. Well, maybe the reason he's going out and staying out late is because you have been largely uncaring or unresponsive to anything that he's been doing. You know what I mean? As far as like he's been trying to spend time with you, but you're too busy, so he goes out. So he's not supposed to say anything about what he feels that led him to that action because you don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, do you understand how one-dimensional you're looking at communication? It doesn't lead to anything. Oh, what are you talking about?
I hear you. That seems like a lot of talking, though.
She said,
yeah, all of that led to nothing. That was a very polite way. She said, yeah, whatever.
I know. I hear you. Like, damn.
I didn't say whatever. I said I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I acknowledge you said it.
That's the same thing.
It just sounds like a buttload of talking. Good God. Yeah, I don't know.
A buttload of talking.
A buttload of talking. Communication.
Kyrie, you are over 34. You cannot look at communication in a relationship as a buttload of talking.
Kai is special.
Good
like
God,
y'all know. Although I host a radio show, I don't talk that much, and that's just how I am. I have a talker as a daughter, and then sometimes I'm just like, she asked me today.
But you argue.
I don't argue. I don't argue at all. I let people argue it themselves. I really don't argue. I don't argue. I'll say what I say. You say what you say. I may come back and say something else. And then if you still want to debate me, then, talk to the wall. I don't have time for this. I don't argue.
That's communication, though. Damn.
I don't really have time for it.
And how does your man deal with that?
I'll talk back to you.
That's what
Sorry,
I said. I'll just be alone for the rest of my life.
Yeah, he said talk to the wall.
You see, my ex-husband, we talked a lot, and he baited me into, arguing. That's the first and only time I've ever argued in my life, and it was a very stressful relationship, and I tried to communicate with him, and it's like me communicating with him led to absolutely nothing. And I've talked to him so much. I don't talk that much, but him, I really tried, because I thought communication was the key to, relationships and stuff. And it just nothing came out of it. Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Just, pay attention to my friend's relationship and stuff.
Do you think, well, let me first ask you this. Besides your experience with him, how were you at communicating?
I don't communicate. Before him, he's the first relationship I had that I tried. Before that, it was like, I tell you to do something
once. What does that
once.
mean?
If you didn't do it, huh?
What does that mean?
I just told you.
You said he's the first relationship that you tried?
That I had that I tried. Before that, my relationships maybe lasted a week, 2 weeks, because if you didn't follow my instructions, then what were you here for? So.
What?
Oh, my God.
What?
Okay, so your first actual relationship, the communication with him was that way. So you walked away from that with a communication is nothing but a buttload of talk.
Yeah, you're just talking for what? Get into a bunch of arguments about more arguments, and then you're finished, and then both of y'all are just staring at each other, and nothing was resolved. It's a waste of time.
Goodness. Yeah, see, no offense to you, but that would be a bad flag for a relationship. Somebody that can't communicate.
Can't communicate, yeah.
That quote is coming from a background of follow instructions, or what are you here for?
Or you're out.
That's troublesome.
Follow my instructions, you out. Damn.
Kai, so are you in the market for dating, or do you fear re-entering the market one day for dating, because you do have specific, very specific instructions that they should adhere to, or a deal breaker?
I don't fear dating. It just seems like a waste of time to me, because at the same time, I like specific people. You have to look good, and you have to have a head on your shoulders, and a lot of people these days are really stupid. So, yeah.
Well, besides physical stuff, what is the ideal relationship that you're looking for?
How the hell? We're supposed to be taking men questions. How are we now?
No. Answer that question.
Because a lot of men are going to learn from this.
Yes,
that's what we did.
Yeah, answer that question.
All right, what's the question again now?
You heard the question.
Besides physical. Besides physical, what was it?
Completely ignoring physical things, what is the ideal guy that you're looking for?
Personality-wise, he would have to be intelligent. I would prefer him smarter than me. At the same time, you need to hang up this whole I'm an adult thing, and sometimes, let your hair down. Just have fun, I guess I'm a kid at heart. Most people tell me I have fun without alcohol, without drugs. I just have fun. I don't know, humor, responsibility, not a lot of drama. I don't freaking know. I have no idea.
But not a lot of talk.
I see where the kid at heart came from. That's part of the no communication thing. I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, we can talk. Don't get me wrong. It's just not.
Because most kids don't like to talk anyway. But yeah, go ahead.
I've never liked to talk. If you ask my mom, when I was little, I even made up my own sign language. And if you didn't understand what I was saying, that was your problem. I've never liked to talk.
Hold on.
But
wait. You made your own sign language up, and if nobody knew that sign language.
If you didn't understand what I was saying, then I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
That's how I was when I was little. I guess I was always a dick. I don't know. But we could talk. I don't mind talking, but the whole, let's hash it out. Let's find out what's going on. Let's get to the bottom of this. It's just,
well, wouldn't that make your relationship better if you talk things through? And that makes it better. You know, the relationship.
How about we not get to that point in the first place? Then the relationship would be amazing.
This is not like a Disney movie. It's going to happen. You know.
Well, that's my thing. Let's just not get to that point in the first place, and then the relationship would be amazing.
Okay.
Did I answer all of your questions now?
Yeah.
Any more questions from anybody, anywhere?
No, it's just, you know.
No, it's all right.
It's very telling.
Okay. So, next question. What questions should you ask before getting married?
What? What questions you ask?
What questions should you ask before you get married?
Do you really want to do
asking these questions?
Yeah, do you really want to do this?
What do you mean, do you really want to do this? If they didn't want to do this, why would they have said yes in the first place?
It's all
social pressure.
It's all kinds of reasons.
Social? What am I being a surprise?
Yeah,
financial.
You got your family. Like some girls will be out there, and then next thing you know, they come about, what are we doing? Are we is this going anywhere? And blah blah blah. So you got that kind of pressure. You got a pressure from, you know, if you're coming from a religious family, they're going to be like, you know, well, when are you getting married? What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
pressure. Yeah.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Well, that's such a weird question. Do you really want to do this?
Yeah, no, it's not. I wish I never said that. I wish I would have said that. But then again,
okay,
she lied to me anyway. She lied. So.
I was gonna say, like, if it's a financial stability, then they're just gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a question you need to ask.
So, okay, what other question? Do you really want to do this? What other questions should you ask before getting married? I think by the time you get to the point of marriage, you should know enough about each other, right?
Not all the time. No, because it can change in the marriage. No.
It can change in the marriage?
Yeah. They can go one way until they get married.
Everything about each other. But you're not going to know everything about each other. That's the whole point of getting to know each other.
Well, I'm just saying you should know enough. You know, there shouldn't be questions like,
enough,
okay, so...
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're still here. I guess by that time you should know if everybody wants kids.
Well, yeah. That definitely that.
You should know what's going to happen when you get kids. Like,
actually,
are you planning on staying at home? Are we both working?
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge thing. You should have the finances already.
That's all.
I don't want to say divided, but spelled out. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You should already know what, I guess, this is my thinking. I don't know about anybody else, but you should already know what diseases are in each other's families, hence potentially being in your children. Well, that's me, because I have to make a decision. Because if there's diseases that are passed on, like hereditary, I have to make a decision if I want to take that 50-50 chance that the offspring that I'm going to bring into this world might have
children,
that.
Yeah.
I never heard it.
That's crazy.
I've never heard it, but that's first time I heard somebody say that.
I would have thought of that.
There are people that are planning children. A lot of people don't take the time to plan children; they just get pregnant. But when you really plan children, you definitely look into the future. You look into medical issues that are possible. I mean, she's right. I mean, this is important. I'm surprised you really think of that, BJ, because genetically could be issues. Why bring on a child to be retarded?
Wait, Char, you're like cutting in and cutting out. You're surprised he didn't think about that because of what?
Retarded? What did you say?
Oh, because in today's time, I mean, with so many medical issues that can be passed on, and you could prevent these things, because then you can have certain testing done to prevent it, or you can do certain other things to where you're not as at a high risk. Because a lot of people don't plan for their children; they just have kids together. Just get
as far as getting married, you got.
They don't think of these things.
I don't think these days they don't go back to that trying to find out, who's got what and all that through the family. Nah, I don't think that's.
Well, what
the other thing that people don't consider that I think about just because I have a weird mind is I need to know your whole family history. Because people nowadays are very promiscuous, and a lot of people leave their children, and I need to know if we're related in some form or fashion.
Wow.
You might cut.
I'm just saying, look, a lot of stuff happens.
Wow.
I know my bio dad, I'm out of wedlock, so who knows how many more. I just need to know who you are. What's your history? My grandfather had 15 children, and not all of them were in wedlock. So, like I said, I need to find out. I guess that's just my mind.
Yeah.
So these are all the questions you should ask before getting married. Or you could just go in blindly. Oh, also, I would also ask if you would sign a prenup. Sign here, thumbprint here, initial here.
Yeah. And that can cause a big argument right there. A big argument. You know that?
It ain't. Listen, it ain't no argument. It's not no argument. Men need to start having more backbone. Either if you want to get married, sign this paper. If not, we can keep kicking it as far as I'm concerned.
But yeah, true.
Well, I'm going to say it's more women who would have a problem with it. But if I go into a relationship and I have like a thriving $1 million business or whatever, you sign here, initial here. That's it. I don't think I haven't heard of men being offended by being asked to sign a prenup. I more hear women being offended.
Yeah, the women get offended.
Because they want the man's money.
They get offended bad. He's like, what? Yeah.
I know someone, her dude asked her to sign a prenup, and he was a good guy. He did a lot for her parents, everything like that. And he was an up and coming guy, and his stuff was taken off. You could clearly see that. And he wanted to marry her, and he asked her to sign a prenup, and she got offended. And she told her mom, and her mom got offended. And it ended up breaking up the relationship.
Why tell her mom? You know what I'm saying? Why tell her mom? He just killed her.
It ended up breaking up the relationship, and then she ended up getting with like a bunch of bums after that. And then she tried to get back with him, but he wasn't having it.
There you go.
Yeah, that was very interesting. But I don't see a reason, like I don't have an issue with signing a prenup. I would, obviously I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to go over it with my lawyers, because you're not going to like jip me or anything. Meaning we're not gonna have like 5 kids, and well, in the prenup it says that if we get a divorce, I ain't paying shit. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I'd go over the prenup myself and have my own clauses, and we can agree on it. But I'm not just gonna say no. I don't mind.
Yeah,
that's just me.
If a lot of dudes was asking the women for sign prenups, it'd be a lot less marriages and divorces. Yeah, man.
I think there'd be a lot less divorces than a lot less marriages. I think women, or I can't even just put this all on women, because it's both people. I think people would try harder to remain in a marriage. So, and especially with these celebrity marriages, you know, they find a waitress going without a prenup. She has a baby and she's set for 18 years.
Well, celebrity marriage is just like whatever. That's the media crap. But you know, the ordinary people, you know, celebrity just. You know.
But yeah, I can't put it all on the women and say, you know, well, if a woman would sign, I can't do that, you know. But I think if prenups were put into place, people would try harder to stay together. I wonder why people don't try hard to stay together nowadays.
Because there's no fallout to it.
Yeah.
If women leave, then they get alimony for the rest of their life. Even if they're not married, they get child support and they get Section 8, which is the housing. So if you had all of that safety net removed, then women would have to be accountable for the men that they choose to lay down with. And if women were a lot more choosy, then men would have to start cleaning up their act to be a better man in order to get the premium women. But because the bar and the standard is set so low, doesn't matter who you get with now. Everybody's sleeping with everybody. It doesn't matter. It could be a bum. It could be a drug addict. It could be a whatever. And you can have the same bum chick that's been messing with nothing but a bunch of bus-riding addicts who they don't take anything serious in life, and they just go around slinging, you know, dick everywhere. And then the minute that they find a guy that has something going on, they put him through the ringer. You got to put a diamond on my finger because if I have a button. Like, what? No. But men are too insecure to say no and tell these chicks what they are. Like, yo, you used goods. You've been out here and ran all through the streets. Well, why would I put a ring on your finger for what? You should be at this point impressing me to make me want to take you on for the rest of my life. Because that's really what it's coming down to. The decent man that has money is taking care of the woman in his life. So it's like, why do you have to jump through hoops to get this woman to give you the option of taking care of her and helping her with all her problems? That's a lopsided deal there.
Yeah, because they get those girls, they think that, you know, those dimes that they never could get those dimes as a woman. They figure they can do anything. They don't want to let them go. You know, they finally got the dime of their life. You know, and
I mean that's how men are looking at it because they want to bang them, so they're not going to hold them accountable. But women have gotten to the point where they're not calling out other women anymore. They're like giving excuses and everything. Like the fact that somebody like Kim Kardashian can be an icon for women to look up to. What has she done besides bang a dude on camera? She hasn't done anything. It's the same thing with what's that white girl that they try to act like is black and whatever. I can't remember. You know,
Amber Rose.
Yeah, her claim to fame is doing the slut walk every year. Yeah. Why is she someone that I need to read this article about what she's up to? Who cares? She's a whore. Why would you care?
And now she's pushing lightning cream, whatever, face lightning, skin lightning cream.
No,
she's
that
wasn't
her. That's not her pushing it. That's
Who's that?
Rob Kardashian's baby mama.
I thought it was her.
Black China something.
Oh yeah, Black China. Okay, yeah, Black China. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's
the
one pushing that.
Women are not. See, back in the day, if a woman was a slut, she was a pariah. You know, like men that were of a certain level would never associate with that kind of woman. You know what I mean? And then the women of that community would shun that person and be like, ew, you're a slut. I don't want to talk to you because I don't want people to think that I'm a slut like you are.
Associated with,
So they would turn their back on that woman, and that's when you used to have people back in the day they have to move to another state and start over in order to have a fresh start because nobody knew who they were, and they could try to be a decent person, you know. But now women they think it's okay to be a whore to the point where if a dude asks, "How many men have you been smashing?" Like, let me hear your history. Women act like that's offensive for a dude to ask that. How's that offensive? Like, if a guy is about to marry you, it's offensive for him to want to know where you've been? That's crazy.
It's like, you don't need to know that. What? Yes, I do.
Don't need to know that.
Yes,
That's literally that's of the equivalent. If a woman was to ask a guy, okay, before I marry you, do you have a history of cheating with the family members of the girl that you're messing with or molesting kids? You don't need to know all that. What?
You're right.
That's not the answer.
Yeah, that's
that's
a red flag. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but then on the flip side, in this aspect, I have to go with the feminists. Guys, women don't really ask guys that question. Why is it so important for a guy to know that answer?
What?
Because women don't say, hey, okay, before you marry me, I need to know how many people you've been with. Women don't really ask that.
No,
they don't. Really? Do they?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Women don't ask guys that, so why is it so important for a guy to ask a woman that?
Because, listen, you want the honest answer, or do you want to have an introspective conversation about it?
I want an honest answer.
Sex is the only thing that women typically bring to a relationship. So if your coochie's used up,
BJ,
you don't
did you
have
just
a lot of
clap
value.
for that bullshit?
I ain't clap. What you talking clap? That wasn't me clapping.
Oh, I thought I heard clapping.
No. How can I clap and hold the phone at the same time? But now I would applaud it. I would applaud it now.
No, I mean, listen, and I don't mean it in a misogynistic way. I mean it like this. If a guy, he went to school for 12 years in college or whatever to become a doctor, that male doctor is not going to do what a female doctor would do, which is a female doctor is going to look for a person that is a doctor like her or higher. She's going to look for somebody that's on her level or better. That guy doctor will go to a bar and see the bartender chick or the hostess at the restaurant, and if she is beautiful and she's pleasant, she is an option for him, just like any other doctor or lawyer he may meet. Men don't have that same standard of, I'm looking for a woman that has this kind of job or what. We don't care about that kind of stuff. Now, the only thing we care about, because men are typically territorial, is this a good woman, and is what I have with her special and exclusive? Because if she goes around and straps on a latex mask for anybody and starts doing all this kinky stuff, that's just what I do. I'm into this kind of stuff. Like, whoa, what? No.
Not
okay,
exclusive.
well, it was nice knowing you. Like, he might mess with her a couple of times, but wifey is not in the card.
Nope. Wife type is the card.
Now, if she's a good girl and she's, her track record is not that long, she's had a couple of guys and she does, then he'll take her seriously. So that's why he will want to know how many he has. So if a girl tells you, if she's like, I don't know, 32, and she tells you, I've had 6 sexual partners since, I started having sex, which was like 18 or 19, then the dude is like, okay. But if a chick says, what do you mean, this year? That's a bad sign.
Right then,
so if a girl's sexual experience started from like 16 and she's well into the double figures, she's like approaching 20 something guys, and it's like, I lost count after college. What? No. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
You might be the nicest person in the world, but I can't attach my name to you.
Okay. Fair enough. So this is from, I guess, men to women. Char, are you here? I know your phone dropped. Char?
Hello?
I was trying to see if she came back because I know her phone dropped. Okay, so this is from men to women, and it would be easier if Char was here because it's going to be hard for me to answer these questions. Man. All right, well, the first thing is, see, I can't answer this because I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Well, move on to another question.
Char, is that you? Are you back?
No, this is Mr. Solution.
Who?
Solution.
Oh, okay. No, he one of our callers actually, and this number just came up weird, so that's why I figured it was Char, and he asked to come on, and I couldn't see who it was, so I apologize. Hi, Mr. Solution. How can we help you?
Hi, how are you? Are you taking callers or? Actually,
Yes,
I was
sir,
enjoying
sure
just
are.
hearing you guys talk because I think you were raising some really real issues. So, I mean, I can just sit on the sideline or whatever it is your
That's
guys'
fine,
program.
but since you're here, I'll put you back on the sideline, but since you're here, let me ask you, do you agree with logic that one of the only things that women bring to a relationship is sex?
I think that's a major thing, and I thought that was very insightful for the gentleman for bringing it up. Because that's true. What he said was quite true. And I would think of a 3-tier question to ask. At what age you started having sex, how many abortions you've had, and how many sex partners have you had. So I would add those other two.
Wow.
Damn, abortion.
Wow.
I wouldn't have even thought about the abortion part.
Yeah, I didn't think about abortion.
No, because that's telling that, because that's trying to understand how many times that she's let a dude dump in her raw and decided to deal with it on the back end. So that lets you know.
See, what that allows is to get a profile of her character behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, that's why I like our listeners to call in. They bring us stuff that we don't even think about. All right, Mr. Solution, I'll put you back on to listen. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Abortion, I didn't think of that.
All right, so
wow.
Char's here now. I apologize. No, because usually what I can see for all our listeners, I have a list of phone numbers here. But then Char dropped, and a new number had just popped up, and it was just like a weird, like zeros. So I figured maybe Char had called in from a different number. Maybe her phone had died or something. So that's what happened. But anyways, okay, Char, you're here, so you can help me with these questions because you know I can't answer these. So this is from men to women. What is this BS about size mattering?
Oh, Lord.
Char. Because to me, because I know all the women are probably out there rolling their eyes at me right now. But to me, unless you like have, I don't know, something the size of a toothpick, I don't really care. Because just because you have something that's like, I guess, like, what, 10 inches doesn't mean you know how to use it. So are you considerate in what we're doing? You know, can you actually work it? Can I teach you if you can't work it? Are you open? You know, what are you open to? Are you closed-minded? It's a lot of stuff that will go into it for me. So it's not, I'm not about just size. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. But I know I hear a lot of women talking about, actually today on Facebook I saw something about, I forgot what the meme said, that have you ever gotten with a guy that you were really, really crushing on, and then you got down to it and you found out he had nothing there? And then a lot of the girls were like, yeah, boy, bye. Yeah, this happened to me. I was like, no. And I'm just like, so you judge him based on how he was created? Like, that's not his fault.
Well, women always ask that question, but then again, yet they have babies, like 3 to 5 pound babies. What the hell? I think that always makes me laugh when they say that. The size matter. Like, really? Yeah,
because a man has a big penis, the baby's going to come out with a head that's like a 10-pound head. I mean, how does that connect?
What?
He just said big baby.
No, he didn't, Char. You just connected it in the weirdest way. That's not what he said at all. No, he didn't. What he said is women have an issue with men's size, but he sees them walking around with 5, 10-pound babies, which means that makes them loose because they just push that out.
Right.
You don't get it?
What was
No?
the question?
That went over your head?
Oh, that was like on another. That's a little different than the size of the guy.
Okay.
Though.
Anyway, back to the question at hand.
So
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
what is this? What is this crap about size mattering? So Char, you answer that.
Okay, you guys know we have covered this topic before, but
Well,
okay,
a listener just sent in the question.
Okay, I'm a visually stimulated person. You guys know that, but also I do believe that there is such a thing as a perfect fit in a relationship. But if you can't get both those things, then I'm going to go with Kai. If I can teach you and you're willing to learn to be a good subject and, be creative, then
But that's kind of contradicting what you
possibility.
said in the first place, because you said you're visually stimulated. So how are you going to get to the point of teaching him if you're not even visually stimulated by what's there?
I also said that I believe there is such thing as a perfect fit, but I just said that if that's not the case, I would prefer that. But what if everything else is great? Do I really want to put all the merit on that one, body part?
But then
is
another
that
question
really...
I have another question. I know you don't agree with me in how long it is to wait in a relationship before you even sleep with the person. So how would you know everything else would be great before you got to the point of sleeping with them? Because and I'm not saying this in an offensive way, but you would sleep with them earlier than I would, which is still the infatuation phase.
In some cases, not all cases, definitely not all cases. If you feel if someone is up against you closely and they're getting a rush, you can't tell somewhat of a mask that's there. Is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Where do you think that thing came from? So you don't always have to get, your clothes off to figure something out.
And you don't
have to just give away the goodies.
I never
just to
gotten
stay.
that close to a dude that I was talking to if I wasn't about to sleep with him, so I wouldn't have known.
You don't
what was
slow
in
dance,
there.
you don't slow dance, you don't hug, you don't embrace, you don't make out.
I
you
do
don't
know.
When you're in
How
the dating
long have
process?
you known me? I don't like hugging because my thing is if I'm not actually with you and we're not getting to that point, the only reason you're hugging me that close is to feel what I have. So no, I'm not hugging you.
That's true. You're absolutely right. I mean, we do know you, so that part is correct. But I still feel like okay, look, if I had a choice, it's always going to weigh more so on the side of the size because, again, I feel like there's such thing as a perfect fit. But guess what? A lot of guys like that, they're well endowed and not necessarily know what they're doing. I mean, because they feel like they can overcompensate for the fact that they are, larger in girth and length and all that.
She said all
to where
she said
it's
all
like
that
they're
size
cocky.
does matter.
No
She
pun
said all
intended.
that to say size does matter. Damn.
She said all that to come back full circle.
But how come? Then,
Right.
But then
I know,
why,
right?
But then on the other hand, why are so many men that are well endowed, very cocky, no pun intended, to where they really aren't necessarily that great in bed? Opposed to someone who has the biggest
because
French
of
fries
women like you.
to offer.
You already gave that preconceived notion that they don't have to do anything; they just have to show up.
But see, that's disappointing too. So I feel like you really just can't win unless that person is just really good to you overall, and you really just feel that they really care about your pleasure. Period. You know what I mean? You can always,
I'm surprised
there's other
that
ways
all
to
men
be
aren't
pleased.
gay. Like, just screw this. Just going with men. Because God, I couldn't be a guy. It's just too much.
Okay. Can I just say this? It just so happens that everyone I've ever dated, that I've even been intimate with, and except for one case, every last one of them has always been exactly what I was looking for with a perfect fit. That's what not perfect fit, but larger in size.
Women like
it's
her
like they
I always
gravitate
find
towards me.
astounding because, if you listen to these chicks, you would think that there's so many dudes running around out here with 10-inch poles and they're just regular guys and just working wherever. Like, that's less than 20% of the population of the world. Less than 20%.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
A strange
so
coincidence. By logic. It's just a coincidence. I mean, I'm not saying that how do I know? How do I know? I don't go around doing an interview and getting measuring tape. When I first met someone, it just worked out that way, except for one relationship. I said except for one.
Anyway, I think most of these girls online that say these things they're just reacting in a way that they think they're supposed to react. Just like you hear men online that says, "Oh man, if I saw this chick, I have her climbing the walls." Most guys, they're not peeling paint off of walls when it comes to sexual prowess, But they're saying that because that's the thing to say. Just like these women talking about, you can't see me unless you got. most of these women, I'm going to be honest with you, most women I've met, they don't even know how to have sex, honestly. They're boring.
Oh, wow.
You have to teach them. You know, you got to coax them through certain things. A lot of them are boring. So it's like this idea that you think that your coochie is some unstoppable element that some man hasn't experienced yet is nonsense. Most of you don't even know what you're doing.
Do a lot of women say that?
Probably more so younger women. I think younger women probably are.
No, ain't no younger women.
What did you say?
I was gonna say, do a lot of women say that, like claim that their stuff is gold or whatever?
Listen, every chick that I have ever, well, no, I can't say everyone, with the exception of maybe 3. They've all had this attitude like, oh, you ain't ready for blah, blah, blah. And then you get down to it, and it's like they're like, wait a minute. Oh, what? Hold on. I thought you was going to teach me something. What?
It's just on the waiver logic.
Come on. It's the stupidest.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Funny.
Next question, again, from men to women. How much of your relationship do you share? Well, in my first, the one that I was talking about that I took seriously, the first relationship I took seriously, I shared it a lot because I wasn't aware that you shouldn't. Because, again, this is the first time I'm ever trying to be in a relationship. And I shared a lot. And I realized that the people who were claiming to be my friends were always trying to one-up me. You know, and it seemed like, you know, they always thought, like, even though I did have problems, I really didn't say bad things, but I guess when it got down to, like, this is not going to work out, and I started talking about the bad things, they were like, oh, I always thought you were so happy, and it was a wonderful thing, and I was jealous of you. Why would you be jealous of me? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's, you know, it brings a bad element to your relationship when you talk about it. So now, when I am in a relationship, I talk about it so little that I've had friends actually argue with me that the person doesn't exist. Because I won't even say names. I won't even say who I'm with or anything like that. I won't say names, nothing. They'll ask for pictures. Why do you need to know what this person looks like? Then they'll argue with me that the person doesn't exist, or they'll get mad at me that I don't want to tell them what's going on in my relationship, or I don't say anything. My relationship is my relationship. And if I do want to talk about something because maybe something is really, really going on with me that I don't feel like I want to talk to my significant other about because of the previous conversation, it'll lead to more argument or whatever. If I do talk about something, it's so general that it's just for me to get it out of my system, and it's not even for you to know even who I'm talking about or why I'm saying it. So I don't talk about my relationship at all. It brings more trouble.
Yep, exactly.
And that goes for family members too. Like, you know, they're people just like everybody else. So I don't talk about my relationship. Char?
I actually agree with you. I do. I'm just listening. This relationship, I've only shared less than 10% to anyone except for my niece, and that's it. I mean, most people just don't even know when I'm in a relationship. And I've shared more on this panel with no conduct than I probably have to anyone. And there's, of course, that you guys don't know. So I learned from my previous relationship that you don't talk about a lot. And even then, I only shared with my best friend. That was it, our niece. That's it. Even my mom did about my previous relationship for the entire time we were together until I put him out my house, which was a year or so later. So, or my sister. So she's my only sibling, sister. So no, I was extremely private about it. Yep.
Okay.
I
know a lot of women who are constantly talking about their relationships.
That's crazy.
Okay, so
that's a
here's
good way
funny
to go,
question.
though, because most women are antagonistic, especially if they don't have a relationship, a steady relationship. Most women are damaging to their girlfriends when it comes to their relationships.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that at all. But other than the whole misery loves company thing. But if you're supposed to be my friend, you're supposed to be happy for what I have. You know what I'm saying?
You know, they're happy and they can't, find a man or their relationship is not that good. But jealousy, yeah.
Well, you need to learn to grow up. Anyways, here's a funny question, and I don't know how to answer this. Why do women care so much about how a man's butt looks? I have to admit that I'm an ass person, and I'm constantly asked that because I guess we don't really do anything with it. But I like looking at it. I just like looking at it. You can't have a flat butt. That's an absolute deal breaker. Like if you're just like completely hot and then you turn around and your butt is flat, we're done. That's a deal breaker. No, can't do it.
Well, good luck with those Irishmen.
Shut up. No, okay. No, I can't. I'm gonna say okay if you have an Irish accent, but no, I can't do it. You have to at least have something, at least a little bit.
So
I
you
can't
have
see
to
the
be.
wind blowing in your pants.
So you have to be some kind of Hispanic or Italian guy with long, dark, curly hair, green eyes, but
blue eyes.
For some reason went to Ireland to live and was raised so you can adopt that accent. And you have to be over 6'1"? Yeah.
6
so
you have to be over 6 feet.
And no kids. Kids,
right?
And you can't want to talk too much, and you can't want to say anything that has to do with her raising her child.
Kai is looking for a unicorn.
Good luck with that.
She's looking for a unicorn. She get that unicorn.
Listen, BJ, she's looking for a unicorn Pegasus, like that. That's and she's looking for an all black one.
Yeah. Damn. Wow.
Whatever. Leave me alone. Let me live. Char, how about you? What are you in the butt talk department?
Butt talk. I want something to hold on to intimately, but I'm not going to, just lose sleep over it if this person is flat as day old beer. I'm not going to have a major issue with it.
I'm not going to lose sleep over it either because you ain't going to be there. That's not happening.
Damn.
I mean, it's so good to have something to grapple. If they're on like
BJ, come on.
He's a nice guy. He could be a nice guy.
Would you?
Good.
No.
What?
And you're walking away and it's just flabby back there, like the pants are just no. That's disgusting.
For a female? Female?
Yeah. Would you for a female?
No, she got to have some butt.
Okay, then. So how are you looking down on me?
Well, you're looking for a unicorn.
Shut up.
You are, with a big butt. With a football butt. Kai's visually stimulated. It doesn't have to be a huge, it has to be something. Another one, why do women act like looks don't matter? Well, I don't act like that. Y'all already heard what I said, so.
They do? Women act like looks don't matter? Which woman does that?
I don't know. Women like some funny-looking dudes. I mean, no homo, but, anytime there's chicks out there saying that Lil Wayne is sexy, that's just strange to me.
Well,
no,
money is sexy. That's what it is.
Well, you had the ultimate.
No, ma'am.
No, I mean, listen, they say the same thing about Usher, and Usher looks like an extra out of, like the Planet of the Apes or something. He looks like a chimp. No, listen, I'm not even. Look, I'm being dead serious. You look at Usher and tell me he doesn't have a chimpish look.
I think the reason why women. I don't know. There's not a lot of good-looking guys in the industry. There just really isn't. Like, even me, I'm trying to think of some black guys that I think are good-looking. I mean, women are all on Idris Elba, but he looks like a normal guy. Looks like a regular guy. There's nothing out of the ordinary about him. I like his personality, but if you're just going by looks, he's just an ordinary guy.
Some girl wanted to stab me because I said he looks like a dude that works at SEPTA. Like he's behind the glass and he sells you a ticket. You're like, yo, I need to get to you got tickets. And there's no disrespect to him. I think he's very talented. I think he has he's a charismatic guy. but this is at his look is average.
He's man of the year, ain't he? And he's man of the year.
But you know what it is? If he didn't have all that money, power, and fame, they wouldn't have been arguing with you. It's the money and everything else that makes him look good.
The accent. You're not saying anything about his British English accent, Kai. I'm shocked. That has a lot to do.
No. I don't like that kind of British accent. I like the British accent that's closer to Ireland or the Cockney British accent, like Jason Statham. Those are the kinds that I like. But the really polished British accent, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So no, his accent does not mesmerize me at all.
I don't know. I think he's average looking. I think what's his name looks like a chimp. I think Tyrese looks like one of those beluga whales.
But Tyrese has a gorgeous smile, though. He does.
And his eyes too. They're
I don't
beautiful.
know. He just has a funny looking head.
So
but
I don't know where
and
you.
There's other people. There's other people too that I think look average.
Let me address the listener. So, listener, I don't know where you heard that women act like looks don't matter. I pretty much think we do. I think is if you have money, power, and status, that's when it falls into looks don't matter. I love you for you, quote unquote, stuff like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I think a listener wants to chime in. Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi. I just heard something. Miss Solution again. I heard the women say that one of the women rather say that there are not a lot of good-looking men in the industry. And this is very interesting, by the way, because now my question would be, and this is a bit of a prognostication, how do you feel about men wearing makeup to enhance their attractiveness to you, since that is what you do to enhance your attractiveness to men?
Well, that's a generalized statement because I don't wear makeup. If you don't like my face, then I don't know what to tell you. And I don't expect
but it's
a man
a generalized
to wear makeup because
it's
feminine.
generally.
Well, to me, okay, so let me say this. If I wore makeup, I still wouldn't expect a man to wear makeup because that's a female trait. And anything feminine, I don't like in my men.
But wait a minute. But says who? But see, this is the thing. This is the insanity of it. God made most men normal. Most men fall within the normal range of looks. You guys have amped it up to where you want this super attractive guy. So many guys will respond to your request, not what you say, but what you actually respond to. So I think it's perfectly reasonable for guys to use makeup to enhance their attractiveness to you, just as you do to enhance your attractiveness to them. And I would ask the guys, what do they think?
No.
I will have to vehemently disagree with you.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I think makeup is very feminine. I mean, that's the reason why most makeup commercials or ads you see have women in it. They're not marketing it towards men.
Well, what about the Egyptians?
I'm not Egyptian.
But other cultures do, and that's not the feminine.
But you know what? We're not talking about other cultures. I can't tell you what an Egyptian does. And if you're talking about ancient Egypt, that's thousands of years ago. So if that's the way that you want to roll, find Doc Brown and get into his DeLorean and have at it. But if you're talking about nowadays, that's a feminine thing. Men putting on makeup in order to enhance their looks to appeal to women, that's a feminine act. That's not what men do. Men, in order to make themselves an alpha, which is what women respond to, they have to produce, which is the reason why most men in a young age work hard and spend all of their time climbing the ladder in order to gain status so women can look at them and see something attractive. If
right,
women
I
just ran
basically
around
agree
and
with you, but let me just say this. That's what men are going to do. Because men respond to what women respond to.
That's what beta men are going to do. Beta men who are too weak to compete with alphas will definitely put on makeup and do surgeries in order to try to get to a level that an alpha is at. Even if the alpha is only in the gym putting up the weights and getting his body to where it needs to be, these betas, in order to try to compete, will go into surgery and get it falsely in order to appear to be an alpha but not really be. So
right.
if you're
you
talking
took
about
it a little bit
men,
further than what I did, but I understand your point. But I think what a lot of men will do is take the MGTOW route because it's just crazy.
Really?
None of this makes sense.
No, I disagree with that.
I don't think so. Wow.
Well,
I mean,
more and more men are doing
I
it because, see, what women want is an ever-changing reality. It's ever-changing.
Would you say,
Well, I was going to say, shockingly, I actually agree with him. In this society, I think men are going that way. I'll say maybe half-half. I think most of men are going that way.
You're right. Listen, you're right if you're saying that most men will, because most men in this society are weak. If you look at social media, most men on social media are starting to lie just as much as women do about their lives in order to appear to be something that they're not. So these women would think that they're something that's attractive. They're using Photoshop in their pictures. They're doing all of the things that the fashion industry has been doing with models and everything to make these women appear to be more beautiful than they are. But true alphas will never lie to themselves or put time into lying to themselves, because they will have a true instinct to achieve the highest level that they can get to. So if you're talking about weak men, most going MGTOW, most men are going to go MGTOW because, as we talked about before, they're not man enough to tell a woman, if you come in my life, you're not bringing this drama. If you bring this drama, you can pack the bags and kick rocks. Most men will conform and start to curve their back and say, okay, all right, you got these male friends, I understand, just, blah, 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 and they'll start going along with it, which is the reason why these chicks are running rampant now, because men are not stopping them at the gate. Like, no, I'm not dealing with it. Same thing with marriage. All these men are running around crying foul, like, oh, she got me for this much per month and whatever. Why didn't you make her sign a prenup? Well,
wait a minute, but that's MGTOW, though, or certainly that is the spirit of
No, it's not MGTOW. No, it's not MGTOW. MGTOW men are completely just leaning back and not participating anymore. My thing with MGTOW is, if you want to go that way, that's your decision. But I personally am going to educate these chicks that come into my life. I'm not just going to lean back and say, I don't want to deal with you, I don't want to deal with you. I'm going to tell you what it is that you are and are not going to do dealing with me. You're not going to come in here and change anything. This is what it is dealing with me. If you don't like it, walk, because your girlfriend over there has been looking at me the whole time. Right. That's what it is.
Now, I agree with that, in major part. But what I will say is that the women have co-opted the law. So I heard you say that you're not going to deal with it. That is in the spirit of MGTOW. They're not dealing with it. And there are different facets of MGTOW. There are MGTOW monks, and that's the extreme of MGTOW, where they don't deal with women at all. But other men are just simply protecting themselves. So I think there's a diversity within MGTOW.
Well, listen, if you're talking about a man protecting himself, I'm not going to call that MGTOW. I'm going to call it common sense. That's what I'm going to call it. Every MGTOWer I heard has always been talking about, don't deal with him, bro. Just go ahead and pump and dump these chicks and save your money and blah, blah, blah. Like, listen, I have nothing against wanting to bond with a woman. You can bond with a woman. All of this idea that a relationship can't work anymore in this society, that's nonsense. But if you don't have enough man in you to try to tame these crazy beasts that come into your life, then you're going to have to sit on the sideline and spectate like the rest of the weak dudes. In order to get in this game and call yourself a player, you're going to have to be willing to get hit, and you're going to have to make yourself strong enough to be unstoppable the next time you do almost get hit, to the point where you're an MVP and nobody can touch you. That's the only way to achieve. That's the only way to be a champion. You cannot play lawyer ball and say, I don't want to do. I'm just gonna not do. I'm gonna go over here and just have sex with her or take a trip to Thailand. It's like, what? Really? That's the kind of guy you want to be now? No. Be a beast. Be an animal from start to finish.
But there are a lot of guys out there like that now.
What?
I said, but there are a lot of guys out there like that right now.
Like what?
You know, I don't want to deal. I'll just go get a Thai woman or whatever.
They're weak. That's
whatever she wants to do, or if however she wants to dress, or you know, if she wants to sleep with 3 guys, that's her decision. And then guys also call themselves feminists. So there are a lot of these guys out there now. Which is why I agreed with our listener saying that I believe that men would go the route of wearing makeup to appease women.
Damn.
Listen, I wasn't disagreeing with him on that. For him to say that that's not feminine, you know what I mean? Like it's not rational.
Oh, it's totally feminine.
To do that. It's definitely feminine. But see, that's the thing. Like when you get to this point where, you know, I always say I don't negotiate with terrorists. Like it's the same thing. When you have an invading force coming in, you got 2 options. You either fight or you let them come in and dominate and take over. That's the only options that you have. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter how hard the fight may be. Listen, it's hard being a stand-up man in this world, especially nowadays. It's hard. But what are the alternatives? That you sit up here and you lie to these women and act like you are okay with your wife having men in her cell phone that text her 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night talking about their buddies, you know, their friends at work, and they go out to lunch or go out for drinks after work to discuss what happened at work. You're okay with that as a man? Some guy's out on a date with your wife.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? But then, you know, of course, women who want their cake and eat it too are going to say, well, he should just be secure enough to know that blah, blah, blah. But if that man had nothing but a bunch of dimes and Coke bottles around him at work, who wanted his cell phone number and who wanted to take him out to drink,
some type of way,
he would be livid. You listen, see, BJ, you already know where I'm going. There would be no way any hot-blooded woman who marginally cared about her dude would want that situation. Her pride alone would make her get an attitude about that, even if she's not even really into him. She would be mad at just the implication of it all. So you're going out with who? Oh, no.
Yeah, because she already know the visual. She already know the visual.
Well, I was actually going to drop a little piece of advice on men. I know a lot of men are going the route of, you know, I'll let her do whatever she wants to do, and you know, and I'm not saying be an ass. I'm not saying like, you know, be disrespectful or be abusive, but a woman actually likes a man who is decisive, who is going to say what it's going to be in the relationship. As soon as you start letting her make the major decisions in the relationship, like I want to dress with my titty cracks out, for instance. This is what I'm wearing, and you can't tell me. As soon as you're okay with whatever she says, she has taken over the relationship, and she has lost respect for you. In some form or fashion, she has lost respect for you. And she's now the alpha in the relationship, and you cannot go backwards because you set the tone. So if you try and go backwards, then she's going to break up with you. So I'm just letting you know. Again, I'm not saying that you grip her up and say, you're not wearing this, you have to wear skirts to your ankles, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you slap her because she didn't make your rice or something like that. What I'm saying is, if you have ideals of what you want in a relationship, who you want to be with, they have to have respect for themselves. You don't like, you know, men looking at your girl's legs or short skirts or whatever, and she's not going to have male friends, and you get with a girl and she's like the girl of your dreams, and you start wavering on those, then you've already lost. If you keep firm to who you are.
But that's what I'm saying, Kai. The only reason a man would waver on that is because he's weak. Because he, for the first time, has a hot chick, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. He is emotionally weak, and can't handle the idea that he's going to lose this unicorn that he found. So whatever she wants, he's going to, okay, all right, just
and that's
let me meet the guy. Let me meet the guy at least. And what's the guy going to tell you when he meets you? Oh, yeah, I can't wait till you mess up so I can shove it knee deep into your girl. He's not going to say that. He's going to say, oh, yeah, it's great. I'm glad that she finally found somebody that she really. He's going to say all the things he needs to say in order to make you smile like an idiot and for her to be like, he's really my friend. And then she's going to have a story to tell.
Yep.
You know, you have to be strong enough to not let coochie run your life. And it may be great. She might be a tigress in the sack, but guess what? You have to walk away. Keep your crown at all times. A king will never allow someone to bring his kingdom down because of something that he personally wants. He has to think about the bigger picture. So you always conduct yourself like a king. If she's acting like a harlot, cast her out.
Cast her out.
Sorry to see you go, honey, but, you know, you're a slut. Can't do it.
Well, we only have 3 minutes left, and we have, oh, my God, we had so many questions. We're going to have to do another one of these shows because I haven't even gotten to a quarter of the questions. But I'm going to, since this is kind of segueing from what you were saying, here's one question that I want to end with. Is it true that all women have a backup guy?
Absolutely.
Char?
Yeah.
Only when I was single. That was it.
No, then you don't have a backup guy. That doesn't make sense. You were single.
Please.
That didn't even make sense.
Only when I was
single.
Okay, well.
Come on.
Well, I have to say,
to fix the guy,
I have to say yes. If you don't really care about the person that you're with, then yes, you have backups there just in case. If you really care about a person, then no, you don't.
Fine.
So
listen,
that's coming from
every
me.
woman knows a guy that will take her without a second thought if everything goes wrong in her current relationship. She might not be actively pursuing that relationship. She might not even be talking to that guy, but every woman knows a guy that will take them. The minute that they call and say, hey, you want to meet up?
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
Look at you laughing. You see why
I'm laughing at something completely unrelated.
And you can't stop that. That's crazy.
The wings, waiting for.
Every woman right now knows a guy that she can call that she hasn't talked to in years and say, hey, oh my God, listen, do you want to meet up? I've been thinking about you. Really? It's a wrap.
Just call them. What is the backup guy?
What is she talking about?
Oh my God!
What is Char talking about? What's she?
Who the hell knows? Char's in her own world.
That's not enough backup guy. Sorry, Logic. No.
Oh, whatever, Char.
You was just living in the house of another guy when you was with the dude that you were with now. What are you talking about?
Damn.
In a house that was my house. I was in a house that was my house. Hello, it was my
give
house.
Give me a break. Cut it out. Stop it.
Now,
Char, you actually had a backup dude while you were with dude right now.
And guess what? Let me tell you how complex Char is. Her backup dude was married with another chick. That was her backup.
That was years before. No, that was years before. No.
And in the back of her mind, the whole time, she up in this old dude, this soldier of fortune space. As soon as that dude break up with his wife, this nigga is ghost.
Yeah, he's gone. He's out.
And as soon as he shot that lonely email, hey, Char, been thinking about you. Remember me? Oh, well, you need to go because I've been having some thoughts about this relationship. And, I need to take some time to find myself.
Find myself. That crazy line.
All right, everybody, calm down. All right, so I am sorry for the listeners that we didn't get to your question. When I say, guys, that we haven't even gotten to a quarter of the questions, we need to have another man show because we'll take relationship questions from men only. I know I didn't get to everybody's. I'm sorry about that. Next week is relationship questions from women only. Thank you for joining us. Join us on YouTube for our other show, No Conduct Radio on YouTube. Peace out, everyone.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go to the No Relationship Questions and Answers page. Have a great week.
Oh, my God.